Earthquake.
No, Captain. Battle for nations.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight!
So to, sort of go back to like, where is Greg now? Greg's doing what he always did.
Right.
Focusing on science as a bigger thing. Now, science includes health. His non-compete is up. It is a 4-year non-compete. It's up in a year from July.
Oh, so wait, so more on that, please. It's up, but
they
it's not.
only made him sign a 4-year non-compete.
Idiot.
So what happens then?
Beyond ridiculous. So that means that he will be able to do anything in the fitness world that he wants in a year and 3 months.
Yeah!
Interesting. Will he?
I'm not going to say any more on it, but I
like
will.
CrossFit Square, just maybe Fit Cross. I don't know. Do it
again. And I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I think that, like, why would we not consider that when it's like there are all these affiliates that are coming to these events and are begging for his guidance?
Yeah!
So
that would be stupid then for him not to.
I mean, I think he is less interested in fitness, just to be clear. I think he is very much focused on science. And I think the notion that, what CrossFit Health was starting to build and doing a really good job with in terms of galvanizing all these doctors that were CrossFitters that understood the power of the methodology gave birth to what we're doing now. And so I don't want to mislead people and say that, like, we're going to start some sort of CrossFit, because that's definitely not.
I just heard it. I literally just heard it. I heard the whole thing in my trailer.
Well, could the Broken Science brand possibly have a branch that is fitness?
Easily.
Because, CrossFit had a branch that was CrossFit Health, which was the medical sphere of it to a degree, no?
That's right. And it wasn't.
It was science, and this is going after maybe there's Broken Fitness. I don't know.
Yeah. When in the agreement, they agreed to let him. This was another thing that was really funny in the negotiations for the sale, which were there was a carve out we created that said that he could do anything in the health space. Well, wait, what is that? You guys aren't in the health space? You didn't know you were in the health space?
Idiot.
He owns the rights to his writing and all his ups. What do you think the L1 is? They didn't know what they were doing when they bought the company.
Dude, you got a tattoo. So did you, dude?
It all makes sense. Bosman is intentionally taking the open in the game so that everybody just that it all makes sense now. So you're telling me that I got to take my Broken Science L1.
That's right. It's coming. It's coming.
I'm just calling it Broken Fitness.
We are going to do a curriculum for, school age kids, but it's really going to be for families. And I feel like CrossFitters get this stuff better than anybody. We just did this big event at Hillsdale College that was more than 500 people that came to a dinner to listen to Greg talk. And affiliates drove, 5 hours to come and hear him talk. And it was really, really interesting how many people were really into the science stuff, in part because I think they recognized that when Greg was talking to them about fitness, when they first got involved with CrossFit, it was contrarian and it didn't really make sense. And it was going against what other people were saying, but then they did it and they realized that it worked and it changed their lives and it provided them a business and an opportunity and it made their lives better. So they're open to the ideas of Broken Science, like our curriculum and what we're trying to explain to people. Even though it feels tough, there's a initial belief in Greg and his wisdom.
Well, he's just a leader. I have this thing that I put together, and I haven't shown it to you yet, but in the Zach video, he has this thing that I think you've picked up on a video of mine of Greg before, which is that he has this vision, and that's what people see from Greg, and it's what they don't have anymore. There's no leader. There's nothing to point you to your true north. There's no mantra. There's no business, whatever. It's just hogwashy. Who's throwing us the most money? And that's what he is. And that's what people are going to follow. And I just pulled up like 14 different comments here that said, take my money. There's I pulled up this one. There's 10 to 15,000 affiliates out there. And I'm sure that many of them, maybe 5 to 8,000 would be like, oh, okay, we'll do that because that's what we want to do in the first place.
Yeah. I had originally to be like, I don't want to create some sort of riot here.
Yeah! Again. Yeah! Say it again. Yeah!
and I do want us to like be getting along with HQ as much as we can. We have gone to them about a couple of issues that we hoped that they would take seriously, and they haven't. So I'm frustrated.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
We'll put it there.
You and me both. What are we going to be frustrated about now?
I think there is something natural. I mean, I wish we could work together with them on this in some ways, because I think that there is such a natural way of partnering on the science stuff, which really extends into health and making good health decisions. So like at our conference in Arizona, we had Tom Seyfried, the cancer researcher, who's really looking at cancer as a metabolic disease. And what's his prescription? It's essentially CrossFit, like including fasting and, you know, obviously other protocols. And then we had Malcolm Kendrick, who was talking about statins. And it's the same. And so these guys are all very much in line with the CrossFit protocol for nutrition and health. And so but there is my sense is there is a lack of interest from CrossFit on the health front. And I know that they've recently revived some of the CrossFit health stuff, and they've been trying to, you know, they have the doctors out for that L2, but it's unfortunate because I think there would be a real way to partner on some of these things if they were interested. And I know when I was on Savant's podcast, I pointed out that there was, you know, some comment about the CrossFit, you know, food, like what you should eat or what you shouldn't eat, some post on Instagram. And the comments were crazy. I mean, it was not the normal CrossFitters commenting on that. And I hadn't looked at that.
Well, what do you mean by that? So, I mean,
people were like, this is crazy. Like carbs aren't bad. It's just moderation. And like, you know, why can't you have sugar? And
oh no,
I don't know, you're telling people to eat fat. I think that's crazy. Or I'm a vegan and I'm fine. And nobody was responding to them. So in the old days, people would be like either nice or they would be like the Russells and they'd be more aggressive. But people would be like, no, actually, like check out this video, or this is why we prescribe this. There was no rebuttal to any of that, which I think could be just like we're desperate for people. And so we'll take everybody and we want to get along with everybody, which means you lose all identity, right?
Well,
it's like what we're
right
doing
there. Did you see the stat in the Open that was they had 100 and something thousand new CrossFitters participate? And I know you don't like to correlate the CrossFit Open to the health and the wellness of the CrossFit ecosystem, but there's someone, I think it was Sean Woodland, who said on the 23.3 announcement.
And the cool thing about the Open this year is we have 113,000 new people throwing down.
Many new people sign up, but they also only showed 80,000 or maybe 13% increase, which showed a net negative of, I don't know, 25%. It's like, oh, new people. But what about the people who left?
Well, that's my point. That's how they share information now.
You think that's air you're breathing now?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
They tell you what the increase is. They don't tell you from when, and they don't tell you what you're starting with. So you can't make any judgment of like, are you up or down from 2020?
Why is that? Why do they do that?
It's got to be because it's bad. If it were good, if they bought the company with 15,000 affiliates and they were at 16,000 affiliates, they'd say we're growing.
Right.
They don't say that.
Can't they just not say anything?
100 affiliates, you know, last month or something, and you're like, and you lost 300, so you're down, right? Like, can you tell me what the absolute number is?
Please press that like button, no one touches there, and I'll see legend.